Once upon a time, in a kingdom hidden among the vast forests and mist-covered lakes, there was a young woman named Abigail. She was known throughout her village for her beauty, wisdom, and kind heart. Abigail lived at the edge of the forest, in a cottage that overlooked the sparkling waters of a deep, tranquil lake. The village itself was quaint, its cobblestone streets winding between humble homes, adorned with flowering vines and delicate ivy. The people of the village spoke often of the enchanted forest that lay beyond the edge of their town, a place that was both captivating and mysterious. The forest was said to be home to many magical beings, and among them was a creature who captured the imagination of every villager, the Swan Queen. Legends spoke of her as a graceful, otherworldly being who ruled over the swans of the lake. She was said to have the ability to transform into a beautiful swan herself, her feathers shimmering with silver and gold. The Swan Queen was a guardian of the lake, protecting it and its creatures with unwavering devotion. But as beautiful as she was, her story was shrouded in sadness, for it was said that she had once been a mortal woman, cursed to live forever in her swan form, unable to ever experience true happiness again. Abigail, though often captivated by the stories of the Swan Queen, had always felt a strange pull toward the lake. There was something about the stillness of the water that felt both soothing and unsettling at the same time. Every evening, she would walk along the shore, watching the swans glide gracefully across the water. The villagers often told her to avoid the lake at night, for it was when the Swan Queen was said to appear in her true form. But Abigail, with her insatiable curiosity and her compassionate nature, could not resist. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the trees and the sky was painted in hues of purple and orange, Abigail ventured to the lake once more. This time, however, something felt different. The air was heavier, thick with an almost magical energy. The swans were gathered at the water's edge, their eyes watching her intently. And then, from the mist rising above the lake, she saw her, the Swan Queen. The queen was even more beautiful than the stories had described. Her long, flowing hair shimmered like silver, and her eyes glowed with an ethereal light. Her form was regal, her posture elegant, and her presence was both calming and awe-inspiring. As Abigail gazed at her, the queen stepped closer, her feet barely touching the water's surface, as if the lake itself was embracing her. "You have come to see me," the Swan Queen's voice echoed, soft yet powerful, as though it reverberated through the very air. Her tone was not one of surprise, but of quiet understanding. Abigail, mesmerized and feeling both awe and trepidation, nodded slowly. "I have heard the stories about you, my lady, but I never imagined I would meet you here like this." The Swan Queen regarded her with a gentle smile, her eyes holding a deep sadness. "Many have heard my story, but few truly understand the truth behind it. I was once a woman, like you, living in this very land. I fell in love with the lake and its magic, and the lake, in turn, fell in love with me. But the price of that love was great. I was cursed to live as a swan, bound to the waters for eternity. I may never know peace again." Abigail felt a pang of sorrow in her chest. "But there must be a way to break the curse. Surely there is a way for you to be free." The Swan Queen's gaze turned wistful. "I have searched for centuries for a way to break the curse, but the magic is far older and more powerful than anything I can comprehend. The lake itself has bound me to its depths, and no matter how I try, I cannot escape." Abigail's heart went out to the Swan Queen. She could see the deep sadness in her eyes, the yearning for freedom, for a life beyond the confines of the lake. The bond between them seemed to grow stronger, and Abigail felt a desire to help the queen, to find a way to lift the curse. "Perhaps I could help you?" Abigail said with determination in her voice. "I don't know how, but I will find a way." The Swan Queen looked at her with both admiration and doubt. "It is not a task for any mortal to undertake. The magic of the lake is ancient and unyielding. You could risk everything, Abigail. Your very life could be forfeit in the attempt." But Abigail, undeterred by the warning, placed her hand over her heart and spoke with the certainty of one who had made a decision. "I will risk it. You deserve to be free, and I cannot leave you trapped here." The Swan Queen seemed to study Abigail for a long moment, as if weighing her words. Finally, she spoke. "Very well. If you truly wish to help me, there is a path, but it is fraught with danger, and only the pure of heart can succeed. You must seek out the heart of the forest, a rare and powerful gem that is said to hold the power to break any curse. But it is hidden deep within the forest, guarded by creatures of both light and shadow. Only those who are truly brave and selfless can retrieve it." Abigail nodded, her resolve strengthening. "I will go. I will find the heart of the forest and return with it to break your curse." With that promise, the Swan Queen disappeared into the mist, her form blending with the water, leaving Abigail alone on the shore. The weight of the task ahead of her settled in her chest, but she felt more certain than ever that she could not turn back. The journey into the forest was arduous. Abigail traveled for days, through thick underbrush and towering trees, her heart guided by the desire to help the queen. She encountered many creatures along the way, some friendly, offering her guidance, while others tested her courage and strength. But she pressed on, her determination unwavering. Finally, deep within the heart of the forest, she discovered a hidden glade where a glowing light shone from beneath the roots of an ancient tree. There, nestled in the earth, was the heart of the forest, a radiant gem that pulsed with an inner power. As Abigail reached out to grasp it, a great shadow descended upon her, a creature of darkness and sorrow. The creature was a twisted reflection of the Swan Queen, its form both beautiful and terrifying. Its voice was cold, like the winds of winter. "You dare take the heart? Do you think you can break the curse that binds her? You do not know the cost of such a thing." Abigail stood tall, her heart pure and unwavering. "I do not fear you, and I do not fear the consequences. The queen deserves to be free. She deserves to live as she once did, without the chains of this curse." The creature roared in fury, but Abigail, holding the heart of the forest, summoned all her strength and will. She channeled the love and compassion she felt for the Swan Queen, focusing all her energy on the gem. Light erupted from the heart, banishing the creature and filling the forest with a warm, golden glow. When the light faded, Abigail found herself back at the lake, standing before the Swan Queen, who was now standing as a woman once again. Her silver hair flowed freely, her eyes no longer tinged with sadness, but filled with joy and gratitude. "You have done it," the Swan Queen whispered, her voice filled with awe. "You have broken the curse." Abigail smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The queen was free, and the bond between them had created a lasting friendship. From that day forward, the Swan Queen no longer ruled the lake in sorrow, but lived as a mortal woman, her heart full of love and joy. And as for Abigail, her life was never the same. The villagers hailed her as a heroine, but she knew that the greatest reward had been the friendship and freedom she had given to the Swan Queen. And every time she walked along the shores of the lake, she would remember the journey they had shared, knowing that sometimes the greatest magic of all lies in the kindness and courage of the human heart.